All right, quick moment, right? Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome into a beautiful day that we have in the city of Chicago, but also a momentous one. Now, I'm Cam Smith, the host for today's event. I'm the host of the Chicago Bulls pre- and post-game show on Chicago Sports Network, and I have to let you know, to be honest, that this is a very personal moment for me because I'm a proud product of the West Side of Chicago. Now, I grew up in the Austin community, Mayor Johnson, so right over on Jackson and Laramie, just to be specific for everyone that needs to know the details on that. But I would not trade that experience for anything because it shaped me into the person, the man that I am in today. So to have this moment, to be selected to host this event means everything to me. So we're going to have a great program for everyone out here. And the 1901 Project means that our community will have a space that adds to Chicago's beauty and enhance the greatest city in the entire world. Now, led by the Reinsdorf and Wirtz families, the 1901 Project is the largest investment in the west side of Chicago, and its development aims to create an environment that unites Chicago through sport, through music, through culture, and more importantly, through community. And community is the most important word of that, because no matter where you are in the city, we are all connected in so many different ways. Now, to help set the tone for today's program, let's take a look at this video which showcases how the project will impact Chicago and the West Side.
Chicago may be humble, but it's never been a city that does anything small.
Chicago is a quietly confident town.
The mentality here, the friendliness.
We invent things here, we build things here, we have leaders of industry, we have champions.
This is a city that doesn't just imagine the future, it breaks ground and builds it.
What I love about Chicago is that it's a big city, but it still feels like a small city at the same time.
Chicago is a true original, one of one, and out to make history. The 1901 Project, where the unifying power of sports, music, culture, and community brings Chicago together. Now the energy created in the arena is expanding into the neighborhood. A destination without a ticket.
It takes all the good stuff we created and sort of spills it out into the community in a more meaningful way.
The 1901 Project is about connection on the West Side. Connection between neighborhoods, between people, between culture and community.
People genuinely care about each other. The city is vibrant.
Big city and the sophistication and the big business of a major market, but with an accessibility and a connectedness that I think is pretty cool.
The 1901 Project is a neighborhood meant to bring our city together. Built with quiet confidence. Built for the future of the West Side. Built for Chicago.
All right, I told you guys it was going to set the tone, so you can feel the energy of what's coming with the 1901 Project. So let's get right into our program because we have various speakers that are seated right over to my right in the front that will join the stage and present their thoughts and just their feelings on what the 1901 Project means to them and what it will do for the city of Chicago. So thank you for everyone that has joined, but also the various media outlets that are here today. So our first speaker will be Mayor Brandon Johnson. Then it will be Cook County Board President Tony Preckwinkle. We will have 27th Ward Alderman Red Burnett, along with Department of Planning and Development Commissioner Sierra Boatwright, Terry Savarese, the CEO of the United Center, Michael Reinsdorf, President and CEO of the Chicago Bulls, and Danny Wirtz, Chairman and CEO of the Chicago Blackhawks. And I want to take time to acknowledge some of the dignitaries that are in attendance for today. CDOT Commissioner William Cheeks, 2nd District Commissioner Michael Scott, 2nd Ward Alderman Brian Hopkins, and also Chicago Federation of Labor President Bob Ryder. And also we have Chicagoland Chamber of Commerce President Jack Lavin. So here we go with our first speaker, our mayor for the city of Chicago, someone that is a lifelong West Sider, champion of the 1901 Project from day one, and who needs no introduction. He is Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson.
Thank you so much, Cam, for that introduction, and good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor to be here with you all as we celebrate this exciting and historic moment for the west side of Chicago, but really for the entire city. I wanted to begin by recognizing some of the incredible leaders and partners that are with us today that have helped make this day possible. Thank you to Alder Walter Burnett III, our Cook County Board President, Tony Preckwinkle, Commissioner, Department of Planning and Development, Sierra Boatwright, Terry Savarese, President and CEO of the United Center Joint Venture, and of course, the Reinsdorf and the Wirtz families. Let's give them all another round of applause. But really, most importantly, I want to acknowledge the residents of the West Side, the families and small business owners, faith leaders, educators, and community advocates who have had an incredible commitment to these neighborhoods and have never wavered, even during the most challenging times. Because today is not simply about breaking ground on a development project. It's about fulfilling the promise that every neighborhood deserves investment, every family deserves opportunity, and no community should ever be left behind. And the promise that communities that have waited for far too long for meaningful investment will not be left behind. Today's groundbreaking marks the beginning of one of the most significant investments in the West Side in generations. This initial $500 million phase will transform 12 acres of surrounding land around the United Center and includes a new 6,000-seat music hall expected to host approximately 150 events each year. And speaking of music, I want to give a special shout out to our brothers who continue to hold it down on the buckets. Let's give it up for an institution in and of itself. Now, some of you all know that I play the drums. I was invited to play, but I didn't want to steal their thunder. But thank you to this investment to ensure that music and art and culture provides that much more of an economic engine for our beloved city. A new retail and restaurant space, a 180-room hotel, nearly 9 acres of green space, and parking infrastructure that will support continued growth and activity in this district. Once complete, the full $7 billion 1901 project will deliver up to 9,500 new residential units, including 1,900 affordable units for the people of the west side of Chicago. We're talking about more than 670,000 square feet of retail space, 660,000 square feet of office space, 1,300 hotel rooms, and approximately 25 acres of open space throughout this district. This is an investment that will create jobs and housing, attract new businesses, generate economic activity, and help ensure that the benefits of growth reach the residents and families who call the West Side home. And nearly 6 decades ago, following the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., this community experienced profound pain and upheaval. The scars that followed were not only physical, but they were also economical and generational. And here on the West Side, we also carry the legacy of the late, great Chairman Fred Hampton, who understood as a freedom fighter. He challenged us to build a city that ensured that every single neighborhood is seen, valued, and invested in. He fought for neighborhoods where working families had access to opportunity, where young people could realize their full potential, and where people have the resources needed for them to thrive. And while the challenges facing our city today are different, the responsibility certainly remains the same. To invest in people, to invest in neighborhoods, and to ensure that communities that have given so much to Chicago share in its growth and prosperity. The people of the West Side never stop believing in their neighborhoods, and they never stop believing in Chicago. That resilience is why we are standing here today. It's about people. It's about creating neighborhoods where families can afford to stay and grow and access good paying jobs and support. It's about building a city where prosperity is shared by everyone. A vision that will transform these underutilized parking lots into homes, businesses, public spaces, and new opportunities for residents and families. I can't express how grateful I am. And more affordable housing, more jobs, more opportunities for local businesses, more investments in the surrounding neighborhoods. Because when we invest in communities, we are investing in people. And when we invest in people, we are strengthening our entire city. And so finally, today's groundbreaking is not the finish line. It is the beginning of a strong future for the West Side, the beginning of new opportunities for working families, for a future where every resident can share in Chicago's growth. This is the city of Chicago that belongs to people. This is the Chicago where we are building better together. A Chicago where families can thrive, young people can pursue their purpose and their dreams. And I'm proud to celebrate with all of you all today. Thank you very much. Now in this work, we cannot do this work alone. It takes a team. And I'm grateful to have my fellow social studies teacher, the board president of the Cook County Board of Commissioners, Madam President Toni Preckwinkle.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm very grateful to be joined by another social studies teacher. I'm happy to join you today as we celebrate a transformative moment for the west side of Chicago and for the future of our region. The 1901 project represents the largest private investment in the west side of Chicago in decades. But this project is more than just development. It's about investing in people, neighborhoods, and a vision for growth that recognizes that the west side is central to the future of Chicago and Cook County. And I say that as a proud South Sider. For more than 30 years, the United Center has been more than a sports and entertainment venue. It's been a true neighbor and a steward of the community. Over these years, the Wirtz and Reinsdorf families have been important partners to the city, to the county, and the state, supporting initiatives that strengthen communities and expand opportunity across our entire region. The 1901 project will build new green space, safer and more walkable streets, family-friendly amenities, and year-round gathering spaces for residents and visitors alike. It's an investment in the quality of life and the long-term strength of this neighborhood. It's also an important economic engine for Cook County. And Cook County has begun the process of providing a 7B tax incentive to this project. Over the next 12 to 15 years, the project is expected to create 32,000 construction jobs. 32,000 construction jobs. And thousands of permanent jobs that will support working families and create pathways to economic mobility. The West Side has always been rich in talent, culture, and resilience. And this project reflects what's possible when public and private partners come together around a shared vision for inclusive growth and long-term investment. I want to thank everyone who helped make this vision possible, everyone, and those who will continue working to ensure this investment delivers meaningful benefits to the community. Thank you so much. And now it's my pleasure to welcome to the podium Walter, he's called Red, as I understand it, Burnett. His father was my colleague in the city council for very many years, and I want you to know, a real champion of affordable housing. So he would be really proud of this moment and the opportunity that his son has to celebrate it. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Before I begin, I would like to thank Mayor Brendan Johnson, President Toni Preckwinkle, the amazing commissioners here at Bo Wright, Terry, the Reinsdorf and Wirth families for the possibility of being here today. And for me, it's not just a groundbreaking, but it's something completely different. It's visualizing dreams and imagination. It's about what happens when a community decides to believe in the future that doesn't exist yet. Over 30 years ago, my father, former Alderman Walter Burnett Jr., had a dream of becoming the alderman in this community. And at the same time, the United Center was beginning its early stages of hosting the Bulls right after the Chicago Stadium was torn down. And he somehow convinced my mother to move across the street. Now he saw an opportunity for political success. She saw a bunch of asphalt. And as it turned out, it was both right, and that's the home where I grew up. And those parking lots became my field of dreams. It's where I spent countless hours imagining who I might become. Some days I was the next Jermaine Dye, who played for the #1 baseball team in Chicago, and that's a fact today. Other days I was a BMX star, And for a brief period of time, I thought I was going to become a Formula One driver until my uncle tried to teach me how to drive stick in this parking lot, and I realized I didn't have that type of skill set. But those are the lots where our dreams were chased. And during the Blackhawks championship run, we'd see the bus leave from my house and take our bikes and ride behind them from the parking lot to the Grant Park, thinking that if we pedaled fast enough, we were part of that dynasty too. So the beautiful thing about being a kid is that you can look into empty spaces and imagine what nobody else sees. You see the possibilities, adventure, and the future waiting to be built. And that's what those lots were for my generation, a blank canvas. But long before I arrived, the neighborhood was someone else's dream. 70 so years ago, Madison Street was alive with businesses, theaters, restaurants, music, and families filling the streets. People built lives here, raised families here, started businesses and dreamed. This neighborhood has always been a place where people imagine something better and work to make it real. And that brings us to today, because every great project begins with imagination. Someone had to look at these 50 or so acres and say, I see something more besides parking. Someone had to imagine the opportunities before they exist. And that's what the United Center, the Reinsdorf family, and the Wirtz family have done. That's what Mayor Johnson and President Preckwinkle have done in continuing to invest and provide opportunities for this development to succeed. And there were so many residents and community leaders and stakeholders throughout this process who were considered and played a part, including a man who should be recognized today, Jerry Lewis. Jerry believed deeply in the power of community. He believed that the development should create opportunity for those who already live here. His passing was a tremendous loss, but his vision and his values are embedded in this project, and his legacy will live on in what we create here together. But these are not just buildings. Today we break ground on a garage, a hotel, and a music hall, but what we're really building is an opportunity. A place where people will perform the arts, a place where entrepreneurs will invest, places where families will make memories. Places where young people will discover passions and talents they didn't know they had. And when I think about the future of this site, I don't think about the buildings first, I think about those kids. I think about the next generation of kids growing up on the West Side, hoping that they dream big, and that they look at the neighborhood in a way that I did in those parking lots. I hope they imagine themselves becoming champions, musicians, artists, entrepreneurs, and leaders. But unlike my generation, they don't have to paint on a blank canvas. So thank you to all of the leaders and stakeholders who played a part in making this happen. We're truly excited for the better future of the West Side of Chicago. Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you, Alderman Burnett. We're going to keep the program rolling and welcome in our next speaker, a true trailblazer in development, a visionary for the city of Chicago, and a true great friend for the 1901 project. She is the commissioner for the Department of Planning and Development, Sierra Boatwright.
Good afternoon. It is absolutely wonderful to be a part of today's event, one that's been a long time coming for the West Side of Chicago. Given the difficult history that Mayor Johnson mentioned, I think it's appropriate that the city's newest mega development project should advance under the leadership of a mayor from the West Side of Chicago. And with the strong local commitment of the project developer. To be clear, the Wirtz and Reinsdorf families are not your typical development team, given their extensive presence as a neighborhood employer. Throughout the 1901's project review and approval process, we repeatedly heard from community members, area businesses, professional organizations, and other entities about the inclusionary approach to local construction, employment, hospitality, and other neighborhood needs. So congratulations to the entire project team for its thoughtful, community-first perspective that prioritizes Chicagoans that will bring each phase to life in the years to come. That collaborative process and the mayor's cut-the-tape efforts help ensure 1901's timely review in late 2024, culminating in the Chicago Plan Commission's approval in January of last year. That's a 4-month timeline. That's lightning speed, you all, for a project of this magnitude. So I want to recognize my team for their stellar work, especially Noah Safranik and Jeff Cohen. Also CDOT and the Department of Buildings and many other departments for their laser focus on this incredible opportunity for neighborhood growth and investment. I also want to acknowledge our partners at the CTA for its forward-thinking approach to local transit, including the new Damon Green Line station that will serve the project, as well as the potential Pink Line station that's incrementally coming closer to a reality along Paulina. These types of phased, holistic improvements that are going to fast-track West Side investments for years to come, including hundreds of missing middle housing units, millions of dollars of commercial corridor improvements, and new business opportunities that will take root and ultimately flourish right here. In closing, I want to reiterate my thanks on behalf of DPD to Terry and his amazing dream team and all the development partners associated with this project. We look forward to an incredible first phase. I have the pleasure of bringing Cam back up to the stage. Thank you.
You know what? I appreciate Red and Sierra for allowing me to get my job back after it was taken by Brandon Johnson, Mayor Brandon Johnson, also President Tony Preckwinkle. So I am back, everybody. So it's good to be rehired, and I'm feeling good right now. But as Sierra left off is mentioning Terry Savarese, we call him our fearless leader around him. He's been instrumental for not only the 1901 project, but also for the United Center since its inception, and also for the success of the United Center. So let's welcome up CEO of the United Center, Mr. Terry Savarese.
Some really tough acts to follow. So, Alderman, if I may, hang on to that piece of property. So good afternoon, and thanks everyone for being here to celebrate this day, this milestone. Today represents an important next step in the continuing commitment of our organizations to the west side of Chicago. Now, 36 years ago, we began a similar journey as we were engaging in conversations with the community that eventually resulted in the creation of the United Center. I'm old enough to have been here from the very beginning, but I'm not alone. Many of our friends in the community were here at the very beginning as well and continue to be our friends and partners today. Over the years, we have witnessed some important moments, some great moments, some historic moments, but today is among the most meaningful. The history of the United Center, the Chicago Blackhawks, the Chicago Bulls, our owners, is rooted in community commitment. It stands strong in partnership with the City of Chicago, with Cook County, and with the state of Illinois. It represents an ever-evolving relationship with one of the most diverse arena fan bases in the country. This groundbreaking is a summation of that history, as the 1901 project, as many have already said, represents more than just buildings. It is a long-term investment in Chicago, in the West Side, and its people. These projects are hard. Commissioner Boatwright reminds me of that at least twice a week. They require commitment, they require vision, they require collaboration, and just a hint of luck. So I would like to thank the extraordinarily talented 1901 team and its stakeholders for the incredible work that they've done to getting this project to this point. I haven't told them yet that the hard part's still ahead of them. We're going to let them enjoy the day. Mayor Johnson, special thanks to your commissioners, your department heads, your staff. They really showed the true spirit of partnership and how public and private works together to help bring this to where we are today. We're excited for what's coming, for Chicago and its visitors, for the 3 million fans, and growing, who gather here year after year, for our city, our county, and our state. But most importantly, we're excited for our community and the neighbors that call the West Side home. This project reflects a commitment to creating opportunity, fostering growth, and building a place that's going to serve generations to come. While many people have made this moment possible today, the guidance of ownership has been instrumental in moving this project forward. The vision for the 1901 project started almost 10 years ago now under Jerry Reinsdorf and Rocky Wirtz. Today, it is led by Michael Reinsdorf, the president and CEO of the Chicago Bulls, and Danny Wirtz, the chairman and CEO of the Blackhawks. With that, I'd like to introduce Michael Reinsdorf.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you all for being here today. Whoever said we needed to wear suits, we're gonna talk. I don't know why he's wearing a suit and tie. Like, you guys are all wearing. It's crazy. This moment is really special. This is more than a new development. It's a realization of a vision our families have been talking about for many years. The United Center has been part of our lives for decades. We've watched this campus evolve over the years, and we've had the privilege of helping shape that evolution. That's what makes today so special and meaningful. My father, Jerry Reinsdorf, who is still around, by the way, just not here today, Danny's grandfather, Bill Wirtz, they were the ones who actually envisioned and built the United Center more than 30 years ago. And they taught us a lot of lessons, but one that has always stayed with me is the importance of being good neighbors and good partners. And that's what we've always tried to do during the years that we've been here. Over the years, this campus has continued to evolve. We've added the Advocate Center, which serves as the Bulls practice facility. The Blackhawks Ice Center opened as both the Blackhawks practice facility and a community ice rink, and recently actually expanded because of the incredible demand from the community. We've also added the East Atrium and the new office building, bringing more activity and investment into the campus. Each of these projects represented another step in the evolution of the United Center, and today we're taking a giant and most ambitious step yet. As we enter this next phase, I look around and I see a lot of the same community leaders and neighborhood partners and friends that have been with us throughout this whole journey, even before shovels were in the ground here. And I hope that speaks to the relationships that we've built and the commitments that we've made to the West Side over the years. As we started thinking about the future of this campus, one thing became clear to us. We didn't want to create just an entertainment district. We wanted to add to the neighborhood that already exists here. We wanted to bring housing, retail, restaurants, public spaces, and new opportunities in a way that feels connected to the West Side and helps strengthen the community for generations to come. Today is an important milestone because we're moving this project from vision to reality. Thank you to everyone who has helped us get to this day, and thank you for being here as we take this important step together. This is a special day for the West Side, and it's a special day for the city of Chicago. So thank you. And now I'd like to welcome my partner, Danny Wirtz.
Thank you, Michael. And thank you, everybody, for being here today, echoing everybody's sentiments of what an amazing and special day this is. Mayor Johnson, thank you. President Preckwinkle, thank you. Alderman Burnett, thank you so much. Commissioner Boatwright, thank you so much. We stand here today following a long legacy of stewardship of this very land. From Arthur Wirtz's vision to acquire the Chicago Stadium in 1935, to the partnership formed with the Reinsdorf family, and as Michael said, Jerry and Bill's vision to build the United Center in 1993. 4 generations, this same site, and the same belief that this place matters. I'm proud to continue that legacy with Michael of this land, of the facility, and the community we've called home for over 90 years. The United Center today hosts 200 events a year. 200 events. Bulls and Blackhawks games, concerts, conventions. The energy in the walls of that building are unlike anything we see in the city. But until now, that thrill, that excitement, starts only when you walk through those doors. But we're going to change that. And we're not doing it in a vacuum. The Near West Side has some of the most resilient and proud communities in Chicago. Neighbors who stayed and invested in this area long before anybody else was paying attention, who built block by block, year by year, even when the land around them sat empty. This project is an acknowledgement of that. a commitment to the people who've been here all along. That energy and investment flowing into this campus now flows through the neighborhood and not just around it. We are building with this community and not just near it. So now, on this beautiful day, sitting in this parking lot, let's do some imagining. Imagine your game day not starting when you just rush to your seat through the doors on a cold day, but maybe a stroll. A stroll in a new public plaza, checking out a restaurant you've been meaning to try, and the city doing what it does best, living out loud before you even step inside the building. Imagine a world-class music hall right here on Madison Street, designed and built for music. From the fan to the artist on stage, every experience represented and music coming to life every day. Imagine an event like the Windy City Smokeout, and instead of schlepping back and forth across 4 days, you stay at our hotel right here, on campus, on site. Imagine bringing your kids here on a weekend during the day. No game, no concert, no ticket. Just a picnic on the lawn or a game of hoops on a Tuesday morning with the skyline behind you and the neighborhood waking up around you. And imagine living here, actually living here in this neighborhood, in this city, immersed every single day with the energy of music and sports and culture. And not just visiting it, but living it. And that's what we're building. It's not just a development, it's a place where Chicago comes alive in a whole new way. That's part of the story I'm most excited about, really changing the experience, bringing life and community to these parking lots. And to me, that is much more than development. It's more than sports, and it's more than concerts. It's truly flipping the script on how we experience all of it. And it starts right here on the west side with the community that made this site worth believing in. So thank you for being here, and more importantly, thanks for going on the journey with us. Thank you.
Now I'd like to welcome all of our speakers to the area right in front of the stage here for our ceremonial groundbreaking. You have your hard hats right underneath your seats. rehired. I appreciate you starting that for me.